Shedeur Sanders waits in the shadows. Cleveland's quarterback chaos, Rex Ryan's fury, and the unanswered question. The quarterback position in Cleveland has long been a carousel of disappointment, desperation, and dashed expectations. Fans of the Browns, weary from decades of instability under center, had hoped that 2025 might finally bring a sense of direction. Instead, the franchise once again finds itself in the middle of a controversy, a puzzle with more moving pieces than solutions, and a rookie quarterback whose name dominates the headlines, but not the huddle. That quarterback is Shedeur Sanders, and right now he is Cleveland's most polarizing player, despite never having taken a single NFL snap. The Browns entered 2025 with a plan. They thought veteran steadiness would buy time while they groomed new blood. Yet 4 weeks into the season, that plan is already unraveling. Joe Flacco, the ageless journeyman who has carried the torch of experience longer than many thought possible, stumbled through a miserable first month. The Browns turned to rookie Dillon Gabriel, the Big Ten champion from Oregon, and hovering behind them, somewhere between promise and controversy, is Sanders, buried on the depth chart, yet impossible to ignore. The question now looms larger than ever. If Gabriel falters, does Shedeur finally get his shot? Or is Cleveland preparing to pass him over yet again? From fourth string to third, the shuffle begins. When training camp broke, Shedeur Sanders wasn't even in the conversation. Head coach Kevin Stefanski listed him as the fourth-string quarterback on the Browns' 53-man roster. That meant practice reps were rare, visibility was limited, and the rookie who once dazzled college football with confidence and flair was essentially invisible in Cleveland. Then came the move that shifted the dynamic. The Browns shipped Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders, clearing a spot on the roster ladder. Shedeur climbed from fourth to third, sitting just behind Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel. For most rookies, that would have been progress. For Shedeur, it was another layer of frustration. Flacco got the nod for the first 4 weeks. The results were ugly. A 1-3 start, 6 interceptions, and declining trust in his arm. The 40-year-old veteran, once a Super Bowl MVP, looked every bit his age. And yet, Shedeur remained sidelined, waiting. When Flacco finally lost the job, the Browns didn't turn to Sanders. They turned to Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel, the safe bet. It's not hard to see why Gabriel earned Stefanski's confidence. The rookie out of Oregon isn't flashy, but he is steady. In 2024, he led the Ducks to a Big Ten championship, throwing for 3,857 yards and 30 touchdowns while keeping turnovers to a minimum. In fact, that's Gabriel's calling card, ball security. Over his 6-year college career, he threw just 32 interceptions in 64 games. That's half a pick per contest, numbers that make NFL coaches sleep easier at night. When asked about the opportunity to start in Week 5 against the Minnesota Vikings in London, Gabriel didn't hesitate to lean into the moment. "You wait for the perfect time, you're gonna wait a whole lifetime," he told reporters. "So for me, I've always been ready." Ready or not, Gabriel is now Cleveland's quarterback. But with a fragile record and a restless fan base, his margin for error is razor thin. Which leads us right back to Shedeur Sanders. The shadow of Sanders. Every time there's a shake-up in Cleveland's quarterback room, one name inevitably dominates the conversation. It's not Gabriel. It's not Flacco. It's Shedeur Sanders. And not always for the reasons he'd like. Anthony Lima of 92.3, the fan summed up the mood bluntly. The only question anyone should be asking is would they go to Bailey, Zappe before Shedeur, and the answer is yes. They do not want to see Shedeur Sanders anytime. According to Lima, Sanders' problem isn't talent, it's perception. Inside the building, whispers have leaked out about his lack of preparation, his attitude, and his struggles to adjust to the professional grind. It's why every day there's a new leak coming from that building about how unprepared he is and how he's walking around the building not doing what he's supposed to. Leaks like those don't happen by accident. They happen when an organization wants to shape a narrative. And the narrative in Cleveland is clear. Shedeur Sanders is not ready. The quote heard across the league. Unfortunately for Sanders, he has done little to silence those concerns. In fact, his own words have often added fuel to the fire. Earlier this season, he took a thinly veiled jab at quarterbacks across the league. "I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that." It was vintage Sanders, confident, unapologetic, and entirely on brand with his family's ethos of standing out rather than blending in. But in Cleveland, where his standing is already shaky, it was received as arrogance. And that's when Rex Ryan entered the fray. Rex Ryan versus Shedeur. Fire meets fire. Ryan, the former NFL head coach turned media bulldog, didn't mince words. On national television, he ripped into Sanders' attitude. "This kid talks and runs his mouth," Ryan said. Like he said, "I can be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your A* in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. Asterisk." Ryan's message was simple. Sanders has the talent, but he hasn't earned the right to talk like a star. It was harsh, but it resonated. Fans echoed the sentiment. Critics nodded in agreement. And once again, Sanders found himself painted as the villain, not for what he did on the field, but for how he carried himself off it. Bailey Zappe, the real wild card. The irony in all of this? If Gabriel falters, many insiders believe Sanders won't be next in line. Instead, that opportunity could fall to Bailey Zappe, the journeyman backup better known for his gutsy stints in New England than for elite talent. For Shedeur, being leapfrogged by Gabriel was one thing. Losing out to Zappe would be another humiliation altogether, a clear sign that the Browns' trust in him is even lower than anyone imagined. And yet, according to Lima and others, that's exactly how the organization is leaning. The waiting game. The Browns now face their most pivotal stretch of the season. A loss in London could drop them into deeper turmoil. A win could stabilize the ship. And hovering behind it all is the question no one can ignore. What happens if Gabriel falters? For Shedeur Sanders, it could be the chance he has been waiting for. The opportunity to silence critics, prove Rex Ryan wrong, and validate his confidence. But if the leaks are true, if Lima is right, and if the Browns truly don't trust him, then that chance may never come. In that case, Shedeur Sanders isn't just waiting for his shot. He's waiting for Cleveland to believe in him. And that, more than anything, may be the toughest battle of all. Conclusion. Confidence versus reality. Shedeur Sanders is not just a quarterback. He's a symbol of confidence, defiance, and controversy. His every word, every gesture, every quote is magnified under the NFL spotlight. The Browns, meanwhile, are desperate for stability. Their fan base is tired of drama, tired of failure, and tired of quarterbacks who can't deliver. Right now, Dillon Gabriel holds the keys. Bailey Zappe lurks in the wings. And Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who insists he's ready, waits in the shadows, loud in personality, but silent where it matters most, the field. The only thing certain in Cleveland, this story is far from over.